My friends, welcome to episode 70 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I am the Prof Larry, and over there is Anthony.
The Dev.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much. Getting over a little illness. Keeping check on my news feeds and my Twitters for all the happenings tonight.
And I was off politics for a little bit, and then in the last week got on, and I'm on hard. I need to pump the brakes a bit. But
it's kind of hard to do.
Shit's going south fast.
Yeah.
Faster than I thought he would fuck shit up. So, there goes the swearing thing for this episode already.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, it took 8 days.
I've been at 3 protests since he took office, and I think I went to 3 protests, I don't know, since 2000?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Unbelievable. Lots to fight against.
There is.
And we will talk about the Muslim ban in our off-topic and talk about all the politics. I think we'll just have a running politics commentary in our off-topic for a while.
As long as this keeps up. I would honestly really like to not have it as the constant running theme, but...
I agree. I 100%
things would need to change with the current state of affairs for that to not be the case.
Yeah, one of the gaming personalities whatever, he's Dan Stapleton from IGN. He does the PC stuff over there, and he tweeted today, I donate $100 a month to the ACLU, and I would love to say that they're wasting my money. Just let me say they're wasting my money, because they need every single penny right now. And if you were donating, they're wasting your money, then they wouldn't need it, but they need it. So yeah, I agree. I'd love to get to the point where we don't talk about this. Give me President Pence. I'll take him.
I don't know.
He's awful too.
But we have President Bannon right now.
We do. We have President Steve Bannon, a white supremacist Nazi who's running our country right now, who wrote the speech for the Holocaust Remembrance Day, which was yesterday or Friday.
Didn't mention Jew.
It didn't mention Jews. Yep.
Kind of missing an important part of the Holocaust there.
Everyone was affected by the Holocaust. You need to be deposed. You need to go away. So we'll get to politics at the end, although we'll sandwich this show with politics because it's everywhere now. But we're talking about, in our discussion, Nintendo Switch specifications. Oh my god, specifications. Yep. Nintendo released. We'll get to some news about Overwatch, some Nintendo stuff, some Square Enix news, and then what we're playing. So Nintendo released specifications for the Switch in this really cool website where it lists a lot of just shows the Switch and then points at what there is, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a very good... You're wondering if they're going to show you specs. They're giving you all the specs. Except one of the specs.
Yeah, I'd say all of them? I don't think so.
You would think it's very detailed. You're like, they're giving me everything. Mostly. They're definitely hiding or omitting one thing.
Why omit the processor?
Because they really don't... it is weaker. But I feel like anyone knows that it's weaker. But I feel like if they put it there, they're just going to call it out even more.
Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly. CPU, GPU, NVIDIA customized Tegra processor. We know that. We've known that for a while. It's some form of... I don't think it's not a Tegra X2, but it's not exactly a Tegra X1. It's a custom thing. So...
Right.
But, I mean, you're not getting processor speeds. You don't know what the GPU is. You don't know, how much memory it has, kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's weaker than a PS4 and an Xbox One. How much weaker? How much better than a 360 PS3? Hard to say. But...
And I wonder if it really matters as if you think of it as a handheld. And I know they're trying to market it as a console so it can justify the price, but as a handheld, the resolution that I see that it has and that I've seen in action through videos, is great, fine for me. Yeah,
and I mean, this is true. Maximum video output though is 1080, 60 FPS, not 4K.
Right. So that's 1080p, right?
Yeah, 1080p and then 60 frames per second, if games can do it.
Right.
But, and then 720p for the handheld part itself. So that stuff all looks fine. It's HDMI, has Wi-Fi, all sorts of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it has E.
Yeah.
Let's see, where's it at?
A, B, G, N, A, C.
Right. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
the question that I have about the storage, it has the micro SD. Why didn't they just do regular SD? Because you can get pretty fat ones for pretty cheap. Why not just do the regular SD? It's not that much bigger than a micro.
When it comes down to stuff like this, space is huge.
Okay, so it
really
is
huge.
Matter.
So they just were like, we're going to go super small, and tiny. So honestly, they could probably fit a bigger battery.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess.
God, really, what it comes down to: minimize the other components and the board, everything to as small as possible, so you can just put the biggest battery you possibly can fit in there.
Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Just every time I look at this thing, it just looks like to me, it looks like a sexy piece of hardware.
It does.
Really looks nice.
So
and it's so simple. Just slide it in that dock, slide it out, in, out. But I would not play a Joy-Con sideways. That does not look comfortable at all.
No. Although I might do it. I mean, if it does work on the thing of where you just have it with you, and you're like, fine, let's play a 2-player thing.
No, yeah, that you're right. You're right. Like, that's better than nothing. And it's interesting that this is the only console in a while that I can think of that comes with 2 controllers out the box.
Yeah.
Like, I know you they're for the Switch where you have the left and the right for, 1 player, but you can make them 2-player. So that's a selling point.
It is.
For families with kids and etc.
Oh yeah, I mean this is definitely feels like it's like Nintendo does. It's primed for as a family console. Like
right.
You have this one thing. Look at now. Multiplayer is a thing to them. It's always been a thing to them. So
yeah, they're really good at couch co-op stuff. So
yeah, I don't think they want to give that up.
Nah.
On the Joy-Cons, the thing I saw, approximately 20 hours of battery life on each one.
Right. That's insane.
That's
for
enough.
How little that.
Yeah, I mean. So, I was looking at the strap. I still don't fully know what the strap does.
So here's what I think the strap does. I mean, obviously it's so when you're playing whatever motion control, you don't throw it through a TV, but it's a way to add girth to the Joy-Con to make it a little bigger.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But if you look at it, the SL, SR buttons, that extended one, if you look at the Joy-Con, the side view, let's see, not side view, look at the front or the back, those buttons don't really poke out. So people who've played with it said that's really necessary because it allows you to hit the buttons, and it's a little harder if you don't have them.
Oh, I see. It sits on the top of it, the Joy-Con.
It sits on top of them, yeah. So you push that button to press the, basically L and R buttons.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes total sense. All right. And then, then you can have it strapped to your wrist so you don't, do something stupid with it, like throw it.
Right. Well, I'm trying to figure out here. Oh, no, there are. If you have it sideways, there's just L and R. There's not like ZR and ZL, right? There's not 2 triggers. There's only 1?
Yeah, there's only the 1.
Interesting. Plus that side button, I guess, there.
Yeah. Yes. Which I guess you can still hit the side. Yeah, you'd be able to hit the side button while you're holding it. Nah.
But if it is those 2 things on your Switch screen and you're using it single player, are there then 2 shoulder buttons on each side? Because I'm looking at that. Looks like there's a front thin button and then a back.
Oh, there is. There's totally. There's an L button. And then ZL. No, there's ZL and ZR, and then there's just L and R.
Okay.
So there's 2 shoulder buttons. If you had it on a Switch using them both, you have 2 buttons.
But if you turn it sideways, you don't have that.
If you turn it sideways,
that's interesting.
You'll have
just those 2 on top. Plus,
I think there's 2 on top. I guess you can hit the one on the side. Maybe.
You can hit the one on the side, right?
I don't know. I really wish they would actually have come through Seattle with this. I would have tried to go out and play it.
Have they already been through some cities?
Oh yeah, since they did their announcement, they've been out and about. Chicago, New York, LA, a couple other places, but not Seattle. You know where the headquarters is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nintendo does everything.
It's the cheapest thing. Just grab some, go down to wherever, rent a space. There's a ton around the Seattle area. Set up, do some things.
Yeah, that's weird. Another thing that's weird about these specs is the Joy-Con grip. The one that comes with the system, you can't charge in the grip, but you can buy an accessory that allows you to charge. It's so weird to me. Like, I can just flip them out of that and put it back onto the Switch and put it in the dock, and that will charge it. But this exact same thing with a USB plug-in is sold separately, when it should just be the standard one. Like, just let me charge it through the grip. That's a little weird, too. But they're 20 hours of battery life. It's not a huge deal.
I think they're just cutting costs there more than anything.
They absolutely are, yeah.
They're just like, man, a piece of plastic is cheaper than a piece of plastic with some electronics in it.
Right. Well, you can answer this question for me. The USB-C, that's like the thicker USB. It's not like the Mini. Obviously, it's not the Mini.
No, it's the one that like my microphone's attached with, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, mine too. Okay.
I think that's C.
Like
is that C or is that B? No, that's B.
Really? Well, I don't know what the hell USB-C is then.
I just looked at the cable and it said B on it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, whoops.
Let me see what that.
But people
show me a picture, goddammit. Google, give me.
As long as
it's smaller. It's thin. I had a phone that used that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I mean, it's flat, kind of rounded. Looks almost like a lightning adapter for a Mac, but not.
Okay. I was just hoping it's not USB-C, or not USB-C, mini USB, because those things break my...
Yeah, it's definitely not mini USB.
Oh, I see it.
It's a little bit bigger than...
I see it here. I see the picture. It's like a oval.
Yeah, it's bigger than a mini... who knows?
Right.
It's hard to say. Why are there so many different... USB adapters. God.
Slightly thicker, yeah. No, I get it here. No up and down orientation.
Ah, okay.
Got
Just plug it in however you want to plug it in.
Exactly. Okay, cool.
So, I don't know. I mean, I am very curious. I want to know what the actual real internal specs of this thing are.
Yeah, you and everyone else.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. People will play the games like it supposedly plays Zelda just fine.
Do you think they're going to let us know before it releases? Because I can't imagine.
I don't think they are. I think this is it, and I think that people are gonna find out about it are going to be like Digital Foundry or people that just will rip it apart.
Yeah, exactly.
To get the deal. I mean, anyone that has a dev kit for this knows.
Mm-hmm.
The dev kit specification would have clock speed, and you have to know when making a game for this stuff. You need to know how much memory you could use, what your processing speed is, because you're optimizing games for it. I really should just reach out to someone I know that might have one. But they probably are under NDA not to tell me.
I would say they probably won't tell you. But it's just weird to me to sell something without telling everyone everything that's in it. Like, it's a surprise. Like, people want to know what they're spending $300 on.
It's true.
I assume, but we all pre-ordered it without knowing everything, so I don't know.
You pre-ordered knowing that it's going to play the games that you want it to play.
Yeah. And that's the,
it probably doesn't matter. It could be black demon magic inside. And it wouldn't really matter to people.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. It's playing my games. It's cool.
We didn't know. I mean, obviously people cared about it with the Super Nintendo or the 64, GameCube or whatever, but most people bought them just wanting to play the games. You're right.
Yeah. And that's a very Nintendo thing. Like, it's definitely been newer. Honestly, it's been since, like, the PS2 on. Like, Sony really did that with the PS2. It was, like, pushing its internals hard. Like, this is the chips that are in it. This is what we're designing. The PS3 had the cell, and Sony's been very, very big about pushing the specific hardware that they have inside the console. Same with Microsoft. They were kind of matching Sony there. Nintendo just never has, really.
Yeah. The other thing that was interesting to me about the dock, something that caught my eye, was in the presentation they talked about it being USB 2.0 and 3.0. But here it clearly says works with 2.0, USB 3.0 support is planned for the future.
Firmware update.
I guess. Why not just launch it with it?
I don't know. I don't know what the specification, like... Something with their software is probably not working with it.
There's just a couple of things like that make me think this was supposed to be a fall launch, and they brought it up for a number of reasons, I guess.
Maybe. For me, from a dev standpoint, is this stuff was planned, and that this launch time was always going to be this launch time.
Oh, and they just didn't get it quite ready.
They just couldn't get this stuff ready. They wanted to, but
yeah,
this is stuff that's just slipping. That they're just like, but it's stuff that they're like, can we ship without it? And they're deciding like this is stuff that they can deal with and wait. To update. Okay. It's like micro SD card slot. An update via an internet connection is required to use micro SDXC memory cards.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's like one format that clearly is not ready in the firmware as they're manufacturing these, but will be ready on launch day.
Well, it's the same thing with the screenshot capture where they're going to have video, but the video is not possible yet.
Yeah.
I like one thing we didn't talk about was if you kind of scroll down the page to the home menu, you get to see what the home menu looks like, and it just looks really clean to me.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the PS4.
Right. Yeah, you got the tiles that slide across like the PS4. But then you have like the things on top of the tiles on the PS4 is actually below here, like the news, the eShop, the album, and then I don't know what the rest of that stuff is.
Yeah, and it's all touch. So
right. Oh man, the more that I'm gonna have to talk to my wife and figure this out. But the more that I look at it and the more that I think about it, I'm probably going to keep my pre-order. We'll see what they say about Virtual Console. But I am sad that I had to cancel. I kept the Amazon one and not the Best Buy one because the Amazon one I had a gift card, and so it was cheaper. But it's the gray one, and I kind of wanted the color one. So eventually, I'll get more Joy-Cons.
I'm pretty sure you'll get more Joy-Cons anyway.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be probably so many special colors and versions.
If they're smart, man, they would sell so many of those.
Look at how many versions of the DS they make.
That's true.
Every new game that comes out that's big. Look at custom limited edition run of blah Pokemon DSs and Monster Hunter ones and Zelda and whatever else big games coming out. So I'm pretty sure Joy-Cons are going to follow that same thing. Just like here, have crazy colors and designs. Go.
What if do you think there's any chance of a Mario bundle special edition Switch for the holidays?
I don't think they're going to bundle it. If they're not bundling Zelda, I don't think they're going to bundle Mario.
Okay.
They might. They might, though. They might just it just would be more.
Maybe some...
Like it's $300, and I bet I could see them bundling it.
Maybe bundle Mario with some special edition Joy-Cons. That might make more sense.
Yeah, for like $400 or something.
Like, just the game, like not the Switch, just game plus Joy-Cons.
I have a Zelda. Which Zelda was it? For the Wii, was it Twilight? No, Skyward Sword. That I have the gold Wii remote, Wii Plus thing. Like I have the whole crazy gold one.
The gold one, right?
Yeah. I could see them doing that. I totally see them bundling, doing a Joy-Con bundle. That's the thing. I'm very surprised there isn't a Zelda Joy-Con bundle out of that collector's thing that is like gold Joy-Cons.
I wonder if they're still manufacturing them.
That's probably the whole thing.
Which is an easy thing to do outside of the Switch because it's not like a special Switch. It's just a special Joy-Con, so you could do it separately without pissing people off.
Yeah. We'll see. But overall, pretty happy with what they're showing?
Yeah, I am.
Does it actually abate some of your worries?
Yeah, I wasn't ever really worried about the console itself. Like, it's plenty powerful for me. I imagine myself playing this handheld more than anything else. I really wanted to make sure that it had a headphone jack because I play everything with headphones, and obviously was going to have one.
Thank you, Apple, for making us worry if there's headphone jacks anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's just Bluetooth. No, this looks fine to me, and I'm totally on board with everything. The expanded storage is a good option for not having 32 gigs is nothing, But those mini USB, not USB, those mini SD cards are. Is that what they're called? Mini USB? Micro SD cards. Yeah, micro SD cards are a little pricey. But I was listening to the Nintendo Voice Chat podcast, and one of the hosts was saying, with the Galaxy Note 7, the phones that were exploding. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Samsung was having people send them in, but they're saying you can keep your micro SD cards, which were 256 or 128. So people were, eBay was flooded with them. So people were picking up like really high capacity cards for cheap.
So yeah, it looks like I'm just looking at like SD card size, like 128 gigabyte is $40.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm saying like a SanDisk for 40, Samsung Evo one for they're 40 seems to be like your normal price for 128. There's like a 128 here that's Samsung Pro Select for $76. That must be a badass micro SD card when everything else is $40.
I'm looking at like the 256, and that's around 180.
Yeah. It looks like the 128 is the break point right now for that
right
stuff.
And I wonder if, so let's say that I had 3 128s, and then I had different games on each one. Could I just pop it out and put the other one in, and
Most
it would
likely.
Then that's
if it's
fine.
if it's expandable memory. I mean, I can do that with my DS. I have 2 different SD cards that I've used with it.
And you just pop them in back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I power the system off, pop one out, pop another one in.
Right. Okay, then this is not a problem then. And I don't know, 256. I mean, none of that's clearly enough for like my PS4 games or
yeah, but
Xbox
I feel like
One.
it's going to be enough for these games.
I agree. So I'm every little piece of news gets me more excited, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Is just keep the excitement going. So.
Yeah. So I guess we move into the news now.
Let's do it. Take us through it, man.
Well, for you, this one's to you. Overwatch. They got a new mode for the Chinese New Year.
Dude, this mode got me back into Overwatch hard. So hard. I knew that Overwatch was a good game, but it is like a great game, and I didn't spend enough time with it to realize how amazing this game is. But this Overwatch, it's capture the flag basically. And the mode, I don't know if it's going to be temporary or not, but basically there are different maps, and your flags, they're pretty close to each other actually. It probably from running from one flag to the other as Pharah, for example, takes me about 25 seconds. And when you grab the opponent's flag, you have to stay there, and there's a timer, and then once it maybe like 10 seconds, you have to be there for 8 to 10 seconds without getting hit to then pick up the flag, and then you start running.
Yeah.
And they did that in this article that you found here because they're trying to negate some of the heroes' special abilities.
They talked about Tracer being able to just be like, grab an enemy flag and 3 jumps, get back.
Yeah, because if they didn't have a timer, skip 3 times, grab it, and skip away, like without having to wait, like you would never. Yeah. You just have teams of Tracers. So instead, she comes in and then grabs the flag and has to stay there. So they're, the enemies are coming. But once you get the flag, then you can use your abilities, to how you see fit. For example, with Pharah, there was a great match. I recorded it actually. Xbox on Windows 10 has the game DVR.
Oh, really?
It is phenomenal. You just hit Window, Alt, and R, and it records whatever you're playing. So the question I was asking you about streaming, I can just record and then edit the video and upload them to our YouTube channel.
I probably shouldn't do that right now. Window, Alt, R?
Oh, I don't know if it would work when you're not playing a game. But it's...
what did it say? Record with game bar. Well,
there you go.
I don't think it is recording right now, but it popped up the thing saying, hey, there's this game bar thing you can use to record.
Man,
wow.
when you're playing with Steam or something like that, check it out. It was like I record like some Counter-Strike, I recorded some Overwatch. I'm really excited that I can record myself playing. But I was playing Overwatch, got the flag with Pharah, and then as soon as I got it, I jumped into the air, whatever the left shift, whatever that power is called, and then I just kept hovering, and I was just flying over the entire map, came back to my flag. So, like, that seems a little bit overpowered, but it's it's as balanced as they can get it, but it's not competitive. So it's just such a great way to get loot boxes too. Like, if you get 9 wins, every 3 wins you get a loot box, and I think in the past day and a half I've gotten like 10 loot boxes.
Nice. Coworker showed me. She showed me so many new skins they have for the Chinese New Year.
Right.
The speed that they're able to put out these updates and skins and content is amazing.
It really is. It's
which, as a developer, means yes, their team is big, but it's not huge as far as I know. We're not talking like 1,000-person team here. Like, Blizzard keeps their teams usually sub 100 if they can. Like, WoW was bigger, but maybe Overwatch is bigger now. But clearly, they just, as from development, they have their pipeline down. They know how to make this content and get it in. Like, the team's just all cylinders are firing. They know how to create art and content.
And it is finely tuned. Like, I decided after I was playing for hours to get the loot boxes and to max out how many wins I needed or whatever. And I decided while I was doing it to try out some of the different modes. There's like modes where you're restricted to like 2 classes, two characters, or only defense or only offense, or there's all these different kind of restrictions that, like, mutators basically, that make it a lot of fun. So I decided to start trying out characters I've never played before, because I usually stick to like 3 or 4. So I tried about 10 or 12, and they play so differently from each other. The abilities like are really smart how they've laid them out. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Well done. It's so well done. It really is game of the year. I understand why people said it was game of the year.
So do you think they'll do a Valentine's Day update?
I don't know, man. That'd be great if they did it for all different kind of holidays, because this I hadn't been playing for a while, and this got me back into it like real hard.
I'm just wondering, because they had holidays. They had holiday stuff here. Right around 3 weeks ago.
Right, they had Christmas. Before that, they had Halloween.
Yeah, so
Chinese New Year, which this is a big game in China, I believe. So
yeah, that's not shocking to me at all.
No.
Well, that's awesome. I am so tempted to pick up this game. I just need the budget for it. There's just much. There's so much content. They keep pushing for it. So.
And it's like really good gameplay. I know that you played Team Fortress 2 before, right?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
The only reason I really stopped messing with Team Fortress 2 was just I had a kid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I played in a thing called the Studio Rumble for a year, and that was when a bunch of video game companies played against each other.
Right. I remember that.
That was a ton of fun. Got our ass handed to us, PopCap did, by Blizzard. We had to play Blizzard. That was fun. I also played Gearbox, which we also got our ass handed to us by a bunch of FPS developers. So, but it was fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed TF2, and I enjoyed the beta of Overwatch quite a bit.
Yeah, I remember playing with you.
It was just a matter of like slotting it into budget and what I wanted to buy. So much I want.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, I want it, but let's see when I can actually get that with Horizon coming out end of this month.
Yep, almost
into next month.
Yeah.
About a month from now, basically.
Right.
So I'm kind of prepping for that. I also realized I get Torment, if you've heard of that at all.
I've heard of it.
It was a Kickstarter by Obsidian. I believe Obsidian's doing it.
Mm-hmm. Tides of Numenera?
Tides of Numenera, yeah.
Numenera, yeah, okay.
Which is your next... your isometric... no, In Exile is doing it. Never mind. It is In Exile. That comes out the same day as Horizon.
So you're just...
I'm like, thanks. This is... Right. And Numenera is actually an RPG. I have the books for Numenera. It's a pen and paper RPG. So, super weird world, sci-fi-ish, fantasy sci-fi mixed thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. And then Mass Effect, a month later.
Right. Yeah, I think you've got plenty to play.
I'm not going to have time for anything.
Well, it's kind of one of the reasons why I was thinking about, holding off on the Switch a little bit, just because there's so much, even stuff from last year that I'm still playing. Like I'm way into Final Fantasy 15 right now, and I bought 3 games at Best Buy, where that buy 2 get 1 free. It was Watch Dogs 2, Final Fantasy, and then the Ezio trilogy. So there's just so much to play.
It's true, and it's hard to slot in things like Overwatch, but I at least know Overwatch is going to be here the entire time. So
yeah, the interesting thing about Overwatch is because it's multiplayer only, like, if you're worried about the player base going away, but it's not.
No, it's not. I can tell that. I kind of get the feel from my coworker that she's like, no, game's awesome. Going to be playing this one for a long, long time.
Well, the thing that I like so much about it is that you can suck at certain things about FPSs and still find something to do in this game and be really good at it. Like, I'm a really good Mercy. I'm really good at Pharah. Pharah's just splash damage. You don't need to be like super pinpoint accurate. Mercy's a healer. And then Junkrat is basically Demo Man. I'd never played him. Demo Man is like my top character in TF2, and I didn't realize Junkrat was basically Demo Man. And I started him last night. I was like, why haven't I been playing this character? It's my favorite. So, and then the shield guy, like Reinhardt, it's just you can find something that suits you.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're contributing to your team. That's
great. I'm glad Blizzard kind of found a niche for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
The FPS multiplayer. And now on to some news that was just random to me. A new Pokemon game came out for iOS.
Crazy. Just dropped out of the blue. In English, at least.
In English. I mean, it's been out for... and it's like a board game? I was looking at videos of it. I haven't played it. But it's this thing called Pokemon Duel, in the US at least. And it's been out at least a year and a half in Japan. And you collect little Pokemon figures and play. You have teams of 6 and you're playing like a board game with them. Battling like other people.
I downloaded it and tried to play it, and I accidentally hit Japanese as my language. And I
can't get back.
I couldn't, no. I was like, okay, well, I can't play this game right now.
I just have to delete it permanently.
Oh, okay.
And re-download it, because that will clear out its settings on the app.
Okay.
I need to mess with it. It was just mostly... I'm just surprised that without any fanfare, they're like, here, have another Pokemon game. I didn't see Nintendo talk about it, really.
Right.
It was random, out of nowhere, one day. And I just kind of feel like this is what Pokemon Go has done. It's capitalizing on Pokemon. It's probably more popular now than it's ever been, so...
Why not at least let people know it's coming? Like, jeez. I don't know, man. They have a mobile strategy, but that's not... I mean... Seems like they would sell more if they let people know it was there.
Yeah, and I just wonder about this one because, I mean, Nintendo has to be cool with it. But it doesn't...
I mean, they're making some money off of it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Weird.
I
will not always
sit down and try it, but I mean, it's a free-to-play collecting kind of game.
Yeah, right.
So you're collecting random packs and evolving your Pokemon. And I mean, when I think about it, Pokemon is just so well designed for free-to-play. Like,
yeah, the kind of the
random collection of monsters, and then they need to all evolve, like level up so you can evolve them. Like, just look at them, like, oh, this would be a free to play designer's wet dream here. But
yeah, people who like obsessive compulsive about collecting things, just grinding out to collect things that make sense.
Yeah, and then in a back-to-back with this, Square is bringing out one of their Final Fantasy free-to-play games on the phone, Mobius, which I have played, and they're bringing it to Steam.
So, I was confused about this. What would it do on Steam? Like, isn't it like a touch interface for that game?
Not really. It's touch, but a mouse
so
pointer.
It's just clicking,
it's
basically.
very much mouse would
okay.
would work just fine for that. It was just weird to me because typically things that go from mobile to PC, especially Steam, do not do well at all. The Steam community market and community is pretty negative to mobile games. If your game looks like a mobile game, they're not too thrilled with it. It's very it's typical knee-jerk reaction by that. I've known some indie devs, that a couple different ones that have done stuff, and they've simultaneously launched on mobile and Steam, and they got so much shit on Steam for their game looking and playing like a piece of shit mobile game.
Right, like, just negative reviews.
Yeah, they're like, this just looks like a stupid mobile game or a free-to-play, like, take our money mobile game. Like, there's a lot of elitism there. So I'm just kind of surprised that Square is going this direction.
Yeah, I was wondering what the impetus of that was. Like, was it not doing well on mobile, or?
It does well. I mean, it's usually in the top 150 grossing games. Yeah. Like, I see the thing around. So I'm not... More money, I guess?
I mean, yeah, they're a business, so that makes sense.
And they can do it in full HD. It doesn't look bad on the phone. It's actually pretty... I was shocked when I was playing it on... I have a iPhone 6, and it looked great on my phone. So...
Great.
And they're going to put Final Fantasy VII Remake assets in at the start.
Right, because you got Cloud in there, right?
Yeah. So... It was just odd. I'm wondering if it's just going to confuse people. But, hey, for me, I actually just learned, this was the random thing for me not knowing stuff that's on Steam for Square. Final Fantasy IX has a PC version on Steam.
Wasn't that released in the summer?
I totally... Maybe I mentioned it and forgot about it. I don't know. I did not realize it.
For it.
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, because you had mentioned that you were waiting for it, and then
I convinced myself that didn't exist.
Well,
and someone at work was like, "No, I own it. Let me show you." I'm like, "No, you." What? And they're like, "Holy crap!"
Oh yeah, it was April 14th.
Oh god, I really.
Did you like? Was 9 one of your favorites?
9 is one of my favorites. Okay. 9. Yeah, it's more fantasy than the tech side of things. It's the Sakaguchi, the guy who created Final Fantasy. It's the last one that he was the director of.
Oh wow!
And it's very much paying homage to Final Fantasies 1 through 5 in a lot of ways, trying to be like black mages are the dudes in the pointy hats and the blue robes and the pointy hats, and white mages all look stereotypical like you would think Final Fantasy characters would look. But it has a very fantasy, medieval kind of translation to it as well. Almost parts Shakespearean in some ways. Like, it has a lot of stuff like that you're like, oh, this is going to be kind of silly and stuff, and then it probably is more poignant in some ways than most other Final Fantasies.
So the story, one of the tags here is that it's story rich. So that's basically what you're saying. Like, it's a really good story.
It is a really good story. You wouldn't think it would be, because you're like, oh, it's going to be cutesy and funny, and it's like, it is, and it definitely has. That's why I say it's somewhat Shakespearean, especially Hamlet. Like, there's tragedy and there's horrible things going on, but then you get the comic relief of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern sometimes.
So this is got a better story than Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, by far. We'll talk about that when we talk about it.
We sure will. Oh my god. Wow.
But also from Square.
Yeah, this is great news. That Square and Marvel earlier in the week had both said, watch Twitter at this time tomorrow for some big news. And the big news was they're announcing a multi-game partnership for Marvel products, Marvel IP.
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal.
Yeah.
So they're going to start with the Avengers.
That makes sense.
So is this basically like Arkham Knight, but with Marvel characters? Is that what we're doing here?
I think so. I mean, who
Or like
knows what the
Tomb
actual
Raider
gameplay is going to be, but
Right.
they're putting in the hands of, like, we're attempting to make very high-quality Marvel games at this point.
We're not going to let Activision make these crappy games. We're going to
No.
make real good games
Yes.
that everybody has been wanting. That's awesome. This is great.
Yeah, I had no clue that Square had been saying check Twitter, but I'd seen Marvel say that, and everyone was
Yeah,
like
it was the exact
speculating
same
like
time.
movie news and like things like that. And I woke up and I was like, oh, video games.
Yep. People were like, when they saw the Square thing went up, they're like, oh, maybe it's a Final Fantasy, the Legends one or whatever, one where they have 1 through 9
Yeah.
or whatever that's
Yeah,
called. And someone said, well, Marvel posted at the exact same time and said the exact same thing, so maybe it's a Marvel property. And that's what it ended up being.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably won't see anything out of this until maybe E3. They'll have some more footage.
I can't imagine this is a
But it's not this year, it's 2018, for
You think
sure.
it's 18?
Yeah, I think it's 18.
I hope so, because I don't want them to. I don't like when people announce things way too early. But there wasn't any gameplay or anything. It was just a kind of a.
Although maybe this really is just them saying like, "Hey, we're working together now," and they just need to actually put this out there.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think what Marvel's movie roadmap is right now.
Yeah. What's the next movie for them? Black
Guardians
Panther?
2.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And then It's either it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and then Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
Then Thor Ragnarok, end of the year. There's 3 this coming year.
Dang.
Then Black Panther in 2018.
Right.
And then Avengers Infinity War in 2018. So I have a feeling this movie is going to try to be timed around... Or this game would probably be sometime in 2018. Because that's the
Around
next
Infinity
Avengers
War.
movie.
I hope it's not a movie tie-in.
I doubt it's a movie tie-in. Because they're
Okay.
subtitling it Reassemble. So
That's true. You're right.
I
That's right.
don't think they're going to try to tie this. None of them. I don't think they really try to tie the games to the movies as much.
Seems like that motif though of reassembling would be post Civil War. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Some connection at least. But
Yeah, man.
as long as it like Crystal Dynamics does great stuff. So that's
They do.
It's just like Spider-Man being in the hands of Insomniac. Like
Yep.
I think they're going to do a great game too. So thank God.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some good superhero games again.
That'd be nice because the only one
Beyond
right now is
Batman.
Batman,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
And then one last thing. Speaking of good games, this trailer was awesome.
I'm going to play the trailer in the background while you just gush about it.
I can't play it because everyone would hear it because of the way I'm doing my recording.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gushing out. It shows the characters, and it's an incredible diverse range of characters. And then I'm constantly sitting here going like, they're probably all romanceable. Which one am I going to romance?
Already figuring out who you're going to fuck.
I don't know, but you know they're going to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's kind of a hallmark of the series, right?
And I'm
Who am
pretty
I
sure we're
gonna
probably
sleep
almost
with?
at the point where they're just going to say, doesn't really matter your gender.
Mm-hmm. Like, be with whoever you want.
Yeah, although they got really close to that in Inquisition, but not completely. Because they still tried to stay true to the side characters. Like, some of them were like anti, like there's the elf guy who's like, he would only romance you if you were an elf.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no. And there were definitely straight side characters that were like, I appreciate it, but no, I don't swing that way.
Yeah, and there was some conversation about having... There was different podcasts I was listening to about having you being able to romance whoever you want, and how people who are bi are saying, like, that's not how... Like, they're not purposefully bisexual. It's just, like, whatever you want to do. Like, make someone who's actually, like, purposefully bi say, I am bi.
Yeah, and there's definitely people in Inquisition that are that way.
Yeah.
That are purposely bi. I bet, actually, more I think about it, I bet BioWare will go that direction more.
Yeah.
They'll be true to the characters that they're creating.
Right.
Be like,
That makes more sense.
um,
That mirrors reality, I think.
yeah. Oh,
Better.
but the graphics look awesome for this game.
It looks good. It sure does.
This trailer really got me hyped for the story and just being back in this universe again.
So this is #1 game for you this year?
I think so. It's been a while. I'm just like, oh, I've missed Mass Effect. This looks incredible.
Yeah, I guess in terms of like day one games this year for you, it's Horizon, Mass Effect.
It would be Zelda, but I'll hold off.
If you had a system for it.
Yeah, I just priorities.
No, of course. I mean, I'm the same way. We'll see if I get. I mean, if I don't for the Switch, I'll get it for Wii U.
But those are really my day ones. What's coming out in the fall?
Mario.
Yeah, Mario would be a day one.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 is probably a day one, honestly.
Really? Because
it's gonna have single player. As long as the single player is good. So, but this cinematic trailer 2 for Andromeda it did what I wanted. I needed in a Mass Effect trailer to do. It showed me a team, showed me characters, and already started getting me invested in the side characters and your companions.
Yeah.
Which, that's what I love those games for, more than anything. I like the overall story, but I like the characters.
Well, that just adds such richness to the story.
Yeah.
It's really necessary. Something that Mario games don't exactly offer.
No. I think it takes a
point,
lot of work to have that richness of characters. And following some of the writers of BioWare on Twitter, they do a lot. It's taken them a long time to get to this point. To even, I feel like, have the wealth of knowledge and failing lots of times to know how to approach making really likable companions in games.
Right.
And even companions that you're like, I really don't like them, but I respect them still. Probably even harder.
I wish they would put out the trilogy remastered in one place. I would like.
Just
I'm
keep
waiting.
petitioning EA for it. Just say, come on.
I'm waiting to replay it for that. I'll buy the games again and play them all in one place, all the DLCs, everything. Go through it all again. I don't think they'll do it around now because they want this game to sell and people to play it.
Yeah, but I really want EA. Come on, EA, just do it.
Yeah,
I know you don't
I agree.
really want to deal with remasters, but people want it, and it's getting harder and harder to play the older games.
Yeah, I feel like it's because it wouldn't just be like it would be like a remake of Mass Effect 1 to kind of...
Yeah,
which
is the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
2 and 3 wouldn't be hard. 2 and 3, they can
right.
go right now. They can just be like, yeah, it's on Unreal, here you go.
I'm just glad I played 1 before I played the other 2, because if I had played 2 or 3 before 1, I wouldn't have played 1, because it was so different.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like 1 was... I don't know, 2 was great. 1 was really good, though.
Yeah, 2 is still my...
Yeah, I think so, too.
And it's only because of... I feel like the overall plot in 1 is better, overall.
Right.
Except for the beginning. It's very slow in the beginning. At least to me it was.
Yeah.
But I like the characters a lot more in 2. I really started to care about my, companions in 2. And even the side characters, like Joker and Edie. And the side characters that aren't part of your team, but they were all, your ship and crew was so realized. And you could care for them.
Well, those side characters set up for 3, where Edie was one of my favorites. She was on the team, and so much personality, and you got to play... Was it 2 or 3 where you played as Joker for a team?
2.
Oh, okay.
Whenever he's, he releases her from her AI, from her, bonds, basically. Lets her free, because the enemy's on the ship, stealing everyone, and he's going through the different service ducts of the Normandy.
Right.
Oh, that was a great scene.
Such a great game.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to you and my friend Brad for saying, you shut up, put everything down, and play this game.
Yeah.
It's great. So let's talk about what we're playing.
Yeah.
This week, I'll go first. I'll start with Overwatch. I forgot to add one more thing here, Witcher 3. Overwatch I got into with the Year of the Rooster, basically, Chinese New Year. And it's just all of the different characters are so well realized. Like I was playing Zenyatta, I think, where you throw throwing stars, and you have like a sword attack, and it just plays so differently than like Widowmaker, who's the sniper. But the sniper can also have like a machine gun, or I don't know what kind of gun it is, but short range, and then a sniper rifle. What's the character with the balls around his neck that throws them? But he plays it's just so different. Like that character, like you throw these Discord orbs to increase damage on enemies, or you throw balls to heal your teammates, and then you throw balls as weapons, and it's not like a typical shooter. Like he's not shooting at all.
Yeah.
And just to have every single character play so differently from each other. It's so smart. It's so complex and so simple. It's insane, the amount of detail in that game. So I'm hip deep in it now. Kind of like how I was with TF2 in my early days. Next one, the short one here, Witcher 3. I picked it up for Wednesday, doing my Witcher 3 Wednesdays. Just did some side quest in Velen. Continuing on Death March, and I thought it would be hard. It's pretty easy, actually, as long as you use your oils and dodge. I haven't had any problems, which is surprising to me. So hopefully one day I'll get the platinum there. And then the big one this week was Final Fantasy 15. I put another probably 10 hours into it this week, and I'm at level 40 at the beginning of chapter 7. I do not get the story.
Nope.
We can do a spoiler cast here. I went and read the whole thing from beginning to end, so I know what happens. So if you don't want to know what happens in Final Fantasy 15, you can kind of tune out for a couple minutes. But the thing that really confuses me is that the Aiden or Arden guy, that appears now and then to quote unquote help you. He's part of the Empire.
He is.
He's your enemy, right?
Kind of.
He
is and isn't.
His people killed your dad. Killed Noctis's dad, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't Noctis
he's not? Who is he? He's not the
He's a
Emperor.
chancellor.
He's a chancellor.
He's a chancellor. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's working for the Emperor, right?
Kind of.
He's
doing his own thing.
Okay.
Yeah. When does Noctis learn that he's the chancellor?
Chapter 4, maybe? Chapter 5?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That was probably the biggest part, was trying to understand that character.
Well, but you find out that eventually I find out that he used to, he's trying to get back at Lucis or something for, I forget. He has a demon inside of him, basically. I forget what I read. But he used to be part of the Lucian royalty or something like that.
He was. He's much older than he looks.
Right.
And he's basically getting revenge.
Right. On Lucian royalty, right? On
yes.
Noctis's family, right?
Because he is part of that family line, but
right.
disgraced, rejected by the crystal and things like that. So,
but he's seemingly helping Noctis, but he's probably not helping him, I would imagine.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He's doing this all to his own ends.
Right.
He's the puppet master behind everything.
But why is Noctis following him?
I do not know.
I don't get the motivation there.
Well, okay, you're at that chapter. I don't remember. There's a later chapter where they start having real confrontations between him.
Well,
you start seeing the power of Arden.
Right. Well, I just finished a chapter where at the end I infiltrated a base or something like that, and I fought Aranea or Aranea,
Yeah.
her name is?
Yeah.
In the sky, Dag or whatever.
Yeah.
And in this chapter, I'm with her, and she's going to not tell people who I really am, so she can lead me through this place. Like, we're in a party together.
Yep.
But I just fought her. Why?
Yep.
What the hell is happening?
You can talk to her. She's totally a mercenary.
Like, just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Her allegiance is whatever needs to be done.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. She shows up a couple other times. She's actually a really cool character. Very little is done with her overall. Like, I had to read a little more on her, but I'm like, she's overall a pretty cool character.
Yeah. So, the one thing that I don't like about the game is that I feel like I'm using the same weapons. Like, I don't really feel like I'm getting new ones or buying new ones, or I feel like I've been using the same weapons for the last 20 hours.
Are you using the upgradable ones?
Every time I go to Sid, he says, come back later. Like, no, I'm not.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I've looked online and other people are having the same issue. Where it says, go to turn it in, and you go there and he says, like, he just says like a line and nothing happens.
Oh, weird.
Like, I haven't been able to upgrade those weapons since like hour 7, and I'm 30 hours in now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm not...
Yeah, my upgrade path was working on those, because I was upgrading them, and they got really good.
You know, I've upgraded each one like once, and that's it. And I keep going back, and he just says, oh, you're standing there. Oh, welcome to town. And nothing. So, that's frustrating.
So...
But I haven't really needed new weapons, I guess. I would like to have better weapons, but...
Yeah. I mean, I did some upgrading, like some re-equipping. It was less than I was used to in a Final Fantasy game.
Right.
Like, I definitely don't feel like there's a ton of weapons in this game.
Yeah, that's how I feel, too.
There's a lot of accessories.
Yes.
I'd go back in and swap those around quite a bit, as I got new ones, and readjust. But you're right, weapons stayed pretty similar overall.
Yeah, and I wish there was more variety there, but whatever. And then you're playing a couple of games.
I am. So, playing To the Moon, which I hope to after we're done with the call so I can finish it.
Oh, wow.
I'm just started Act 3, so okay. I assume it's 3 acts.
Yeah.
Feels like it's 3 acts.
How many hours you played so far?
4.
Oh, yeah, you
3.5,
must be close.
4,
yeah, you must be close again.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a 4-hour game.
I didn't know how I was... we'll talk about it later. I didn't know how I was going to like it, but it's definitely hooked me where I want to get to the end. I want to know what happens. Like,
right.
It's got a little bit of hooks in me. But we can save that for...
next week. That's our discussion next week. We'll discuss.
It'll be next week, yeah. So next week we'll discuss that. And so I played some more Pokemon Moon with my kids, and pretty deep into the, okay, I need to construct the perfect team of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So I'm capturing and then realizing I'm like, oh, I just got Pikachu Z Crystal for Pikachu, but I don't have a Pikachu. I have a Pichu, which evolves to Pikachu, so I need to put Pichu in my party, which I've been doing now, to level them up so I can evolve to Pikachu. So,
wow.
And my kids are watching me. That's what we did for a little bit today, was play some Pokemon. So, there's a kind of an intensity to this game that's still shocking to me, on the amount of stuff that you have to do in the game to, like, craft the team that you want with the moves that you want. It's not, you don't just get the Pokemon you want, you have to work for it. So, it's a very grindy game in that way.
But grindy in a way that's just really annoying, or...
No, the battles are engaging and fun.
Okay.
And you definitely find, like, the optimal way to level up things is to play through the story and play against not just random Pokemon that you're encountering, but trainers that are on the map. Mm-hmm. Because they give you way more experience to beat them. And they typically are more difficult fights with multiple Pokemon and that have specific power sets and things like that. So it keeps it more interesting in that regard. And beyond that, those were the things that I played for the most part this week, because this is a week I was doing another Star Wars RPG session. So while you were doing Witcher Wednesday, I was doing Star Wars Wednesday.
And you have, how many people are with you and how many people are online with you?
Everyone's online. I mean, my wife is in the house, but she's downstairs.
Okay.
So we don't play in the same room, because she has her own mic and everything. So yeah, we're all online.
Okay.
And there's 6 of us. So I have a party of 5, and then I'm running it. And having a blast. Finally getting them used to, I don't know, the consequences of their actions.
Did they kill an NPC that you wanted to live again?
No, not this time. This time they are not. They did give them a little truck they needed to use for something. It did not have weapons on it this time. Nothing. The first thing they asked is if it had a turret on it or a weapon. And I was like, no.
Not this time.
Nope. It's literally just a speeder truck for transporting cargo. That's it. It has nothing.
You learned your lesson.
Nothing military about it. Nothing.
Right.
They're like, what if we get in combat? I'm like, I don't know. Figure it out. So, it's always fun. I'm actually really enjoying it, and that session, I ended it, like, in the middle of, like, in a down point between 2 major scenes, so I'm already looking forward to playing it in a couple weeks. So, but
that sounds super rad.
It is rad. I should do an extra podcast session at some point, just talking about it.
It'd be cool if you could, like, record your session. I mean,
I have recorded it. I just haven't asked people if I can put it up.
Yeah, you should ask them if you could, because it'd be cool for the audience to kind of hear how you. I mean, I would love to listen to it, to hear how you guys do it, just as an extra episode.
I could totally do that at some point. I mean, it's a couple hours.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so.
If people don't want to listen to it, they don't have to download it.
That's true. That's true.
We have the storage space, so.
Yeah. So I do try to record them only so I can go back and reference what's happened sometimes. Because I need to be a good game master for these. It's really good to have good notes and tie things in that's happened in previous sessions. And stuff tends to happen so fast that you forget little details here and there.
Right, so you gotta go back and listen.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's been my week.
What a week it was.
Yeah, so let's
distract ourselves.
So, off topic.
Here we go.
Anyone doesn't want to deal with politics, good night.
Yeah, at Summer Speak, at Prop Plays Games. Thanks. We'll see you next week. For everyone else, Trump is just, like, he is going to be impeached. There's no way he gets out of this year. He has broken the law. He did today what Nixon wouldn't do. He defied a federal court order, and when the feds said stop, you're basically violating due process for these people in these airports. You have to stop. Trump told them to continue to ignore the court order, and that is fucking unconstitutional. There's a constitutional crisis in our country right now, and this is impeachable. And we need...
And I want to believe that he'd be impeached, but I don't currently believe that would happen.
This shit is fucking...
Because I don't believe there's actually enough strength in Congress right now.
Not with the Republicans, but...
And I don't feel like the Democrats have enough either. I think there's a portion of the Democrats that are angry enough and willing to do it, but...
Every single Democrat would vote for, I think, impeachment, but they don't have the power to bring it up. Has to be the Republicans. Has to be the Republicans.
And I don't think... Well, that's not true. Maybe they will.
All the Democrats
I don't know.
Republicans in the Senate, that's enough.
I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up.
No, definitely don't. Do not.
Because I'm basically like... Very few Republicans have even come out against this. There's been some, and more power to them for doing that.
Yep. There have been
not enough.
4 or 5 in the Senate. Lindsey Graham, John McCain, Jeff Flake.
Yep. Collins,
and there was one more that I saw last count. This is... he's doubling down now. This stuff's getting worse, and it's just that there are just spontaneous protests all over the country. Like, I went to the airport in San Diego yesterday when there were like some person made just a Facebook event to go down to the airport to protest, and there were 40 of us, and then by the time I left there were 500. It was just nothing but positivity. I went to another protest today up in North County where it's a little bit more conservative, and had a few people who were basically telling us to love America or leave it, but almost 99% of the people were very positive and supporting us. This shit is going to get shut down. Like, this is our moment. And if you were in history class, learning about Nazi Germany and asking yourself, like, what would you have done in that period? Like, this is your fucking time to stand up.
Yeah, you stand up against this stuff and go like, no, we are not okay with this. This is too far. And standing up is clearly making some of a difference.
It is the
green card, like the federal order came in that was like, at least the original one at least got green card people through. Like, anyone on the ground who was already there or had been in the air, they were supposed to get through. Like, to let them through. But clearly that's going to go farther up the court system as well now, with California and Washington suing about this executive order on the ban.
Oh my God. But in any kind of movement, we need to have people who are helpers, organizers, advocates, or rebels. And, rebels are out protesting. A helper is someone who, if you don't want to go out and do that, like, you don't have to, but you can donate money. You can donate time. Like, the ACLU has gotten $16 million since Saturday.
$19 million.
$19 million. Okay.
And then last week, they've gotten $19 million, maybe 17 to 19, but they normally only get 3 an entire year.
Yeah.
They have 300,000 new donation members to the ACLU.
I'm one of those. I sign up for the monthly. I take some. I need to up mine because mine's only $10 a month, which is clearly not enough. This is our time. They are responding to pressure, but we need to stop President Bannon because Trump is an idiot. He's not the president.
No, Trump didn't write these orders.
Absolutely
not. Clear. He's not.
He has no idea what he's doing.
Considering he was on the phone with Merkel yesterday, and she had to explain to him
the Geneva Conventions
of no, your country has signed on to these.
Right.
This is its requirement because you have signed that. You didn't sign these, but the country has. This is things that you need to follow, which is refugee admittance and things like that.
Just imagine at the end of World War II, looking into the future of the world, where Germany was like the last leader of liberal democracy, and America was aligned with Russia.
I know.
Oh my God! And it's just like,
well, I feel like you could, in some ways, look back. I'm pretty sure there was a similar thing that from the 30s people were looking back on, of like the weird shifting of alignments in politics.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like every generation, this crap. They're like, I can't believe this happened. I'm like, I can, because this stuff shifts. One day, the enemy of my enemy is now my friend, and it just shifts around. So it's not stagnant at all. All of this stuff is very fluid. And
the thing that gives me hope is that, like, just these spontaneous protests, and like the country is not taking this quietly. No. We're not, like, when we said not never again, we meant it.
Yeah.
Like, my students have student visas. I have Muslim students. Like, if I walk into class tomorrow, it is possible that student won't be there. Like, these are my students. These are the people that I know. My last semester, one of my students got me a little onesie for my kid. It's a cute little Santa Claus. She is a refugee from Palestine. Like, these people are people, and they're not here to hurt us. They're here to get away from people hurting them. And these kinds of bans make our country less safe. It's just a propaganda video for ISIS.
Yeah. I just can't completely, like, wife and I talk about it all the time. We're just like, why is it so hard to be kind to people? Are we that afraid of being kind to people? Yeah, sure. Maybe there's a chance someone will get it, but what? I mean, there's a chance a lot of things can happen.
That's right.
There's a chance that I can be struck by lightning right now, but it's likely not going to happen.
And you're not going to ban weather.
And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to sit here and like model my whole life around not getting struck by lightning.
Right. That's absolutely right.
And I'm not going to sit here and build my whole worldview over the fact that everyone's out to get me. Even the people I don't like from other countries are out to get me. They're not. There's bad people in the world everywhere. Doesn't mean I have to hate everyone or want to hurt anyone else. I would much rather help everyone.
Well, tonight in Quebec City, a bad person walked into a mosque and started shooting and killed 5 people.
Yep, saw that.
Yeah, we're worried about Islamic terrorists. There were like more terrorism in the United States is committed by white supremacists than anybody else.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not the ones we have to worry about. The people coming, refugees. No refugee has committed a crime, a terrorist or attack or anything. None of them were.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like it's a completely unfounded fear. It
absolutely is, but it riles up the base.
Yeah.
They play with fire to get into power, and
and they follow through what they said they were going to do.
Anyone who thought he wasn't going to do that was insane. There were in the aftermath of the election, people were saying, well, his supporters took him seriously but not literally, and his opponents took him literally but not seriously. Like, I want both. Like, he literally meant what he said.
And I took it very serious. That's why I didn't want him as president.
Right. And now we're just 8 days. It took him 8 days to become seen unfavorably by the majority of the country, according to Gallup, which is historic. Because other presidents, like Clinton was 500 and something days, Obama was 900 days, Bush's were like 1,200 days.
Yeah.
8 days for Trump.
Yep. Didn't take him long. Pissing off large portions of the country.
And Bannon wants the news to shut up, and Kelly Ann Conway says that any press member who talks smack, quote unquote, about the president should be fired. And that the people being detained are being detained temporarily. They'll be back with their families, which is what they said about the Jews. We're just taking you away for a little bit, and then we'll bring you back. But they took them to the gas chambers, folks.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to give an inch because they're going to take a mile, and people are going to die. And we're not going to let it happen. And Mike Pence in 2015 tweeted out, calls to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. are offensive and unconstitutional. Yet his president is doing this.
Yep. Has he came out and said anything?
No.
Officially, or is he just silent?
He's just silent.
Okay.
But
I was just wondering if he's said anything either way.
Right.
Or if he's just being a very silent vice president.
I haven't seen him. I've seen him in all the pictures, but I haven't heard him say anything. He is just waiting for Trump to be impeached, so he'll be the president.
I can see that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In other political news, in a weird way, watched Zootopia with my kids tonight. Have you watched that movie?
Yes, watched it.
It is so freaking relevant.
It really is.
I was like, holy crap. Wow. What a relevant thing. And then I have my eldest actually, because he heard wife and I talking about the protests going on here in Seattle right now. There's a big one in downtown Seattle tonight, and then SeaTac last night. He's like, what are people protesting? And we're like, alright, let's explain. We just finished watching Zootopia. Let's explain this to you from the Zootopia standpoint, so you can understand what's going on here. And he was like, oh, why are people being mean to other people? And I'm like, exactly.
Great question. Speaking of being mean, weird thing happened yesterday. We were in bed at 6:15 in the morning. There was like a dog yapping outside of our door, basically, and just would nonstop. So I went downstairs, opened the door, and there were 4 women across the street in a green space with dogs. and just yapping. I yelled at them. I said, "Can you please stop your dog from barking?" Woman immediately barks back at me. "That's what dogs do." I'm like, not this early and not in this neighborhood. And immediately she snapped back. "This is America." I'm well aware of that, but your dog needs to stop barking. Like, what the hell? Like, don't be a dick. What the hell?
Yeah.
So weird. Like, Trump won, so I can be a dick. Like, you can't be a dick. Like, there are consequences for that. Just insane why people are so rude and mean.
Yeah.
Just
my wife said, I just want the giant sign that says, "Just be nice to one another, please." Why is that such a hard concept?
Right.
Why do we feel like we... I mean, I understand people can have off days and get defensive at times and everything. I have that too.
That. Yeah.
But there's also the thing of, like, why do you have to be a dick constantly? There's just those people that are just like, "Oh, can't believe someone's asking me to inconvenience myself in any way, shape, or form."
Right.
Why do I want to do anything, change anything in myself because of other people? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get all the hatred. But,
well, I think there are like people on the right wing right now who are saying that about our hatred, basically, of Trump and all these protests. Like, why does there have to be so much hatred? Like, like, you're destroying our country, dude, and we're not going to let you do it.
And even that, I'm like, I try very hard not to be straight up hateful to those people.
Right.
Because I don't want to. Like, that's not how you convince someone. But I won't yell, I won't do anything like that. But I'm like, a peaceful protest is not about hatred. What these protests are about are standing up for decency and kindness to people. And guess what? If you're on the other side of that who want to hurt or imprison or detain or block people from entering this country for religious reasons, ethnic reasons, yeah, you're not on the right side of that divide.
No, and the people, like...
It's like, I don't have to hate you for it, but you have to understand you're full of hate.
Right. That's all that's driving them is fear and hate. Hate and fear. And it's ruining people's lives.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
I don't know. The protests, I assume, are going to keep up, though. So.
Oh, yeah. And it's just a new thing every day. It's just reigniting us. Like, and the pressure is working in some way on them. He's just, he's doubling down and tripling down.
I can only imagine that the actual Republican base will fracture at some point.
Yeah, and I feel like some of them already are. And there's a representative from North Carolina tweeted out, Trump voters are starting to regret their decisions. Don't insult them. Don't get in their way by insulting them. It's like, yeah, that's pretty true. Like, if they're realizing that they made a huge mistake, like, don't be a dick about it. Like, yes, Thank you for joining our side. Let's fight together.
Yes.
We don't have to agree on abortion right now, but let's agree that we need to follow the Constitution and get this guy out of office.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, I can have plenty of differences with people, but if there's a mutual, like, understanding of, like, no, this is what we're both in agreement, this is bad.
Right.
Let's take care of that. Like, I don't have to agree with all your other views on anything, but we can agree on this, and let's work towards that.
Yep.
Which, honestly, we don't have enough of in this country anymore. Like, division has been so ripe now where I feel like people are not... on either side has been pushed so far in its direction that we're just like, what can we come together on? I'm like, well, we can probably come together on this.
Yeah, I would hope so. If not this, then nothing, really.
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad times right now.
It is, but there's a lot of hope, too, about being able to fight back, so...
Yeah.
And thank God for the ACLU. If you can donate, folks, donate.
I agree. Do it.
Well, thanks for your time tonight, Anthony.
Thank you.
look forward to seeing what happens in the next week in the video game world and talking about it on episode 71. But
let's hope that the video game news is much more interesting than the political news.
I don't think it could be more interesting, but it could be less controversial.
I just want less political news next week. Come on. Let's not get executive orders every morning.
Right. Well, we'll see what President Bannon wants to do.
I know. All right.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
This was episode 70, and that's Anthony at Summerspeak. I am Larry at Prof Plays Games, and this was our pleasure to serve you tonight.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks.